Take Cleveland and the Brownies. Aaron is back in the fold. Take the Packers. Therefore, take Miami. Take the Titans. Take Buffalo to get it done. For Cam Newton, it's hard to get it done. Big time receiver. Take Seattle for the upset. That is football. We need to take that. Game number 1 on the slate, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, something is telling me that Jacksonville and Urban Meyer may pull off an upset. However, I'm not going to disrespect the home team. Give me Matty Ice for the W. Game number 2 on the slate, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, last week, Cam Newton's homecoming was spoiled by none other than Taylor Heineke. However, this week, he gets a matchup versus the Miami Dolphins, who have been impressive recently, but I think Cam and that defense do enough to get it done. Game number 3 on the slate, we got the New York Jets versus the Houston Texans. Now, last week, Tyrod Taylor showed up with his guys and knocked off the Tennessee Titans. On the other side of this matchup, the Jets did Jet-type things. Take Houston and Tyrod to get another W. Game number 4 on the slate, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York G-Men. Now, if you were paying attention about 4 weeks ago, I told you that this Philly team will start putting together W's because their schedule got super soft. And now, here we are, and Jalen Hurts is being considered as a top quarterback in the NFL. On the other side of the matchup, we have Daniel Jones and the G-Men, who have been struggling and just got knocked off by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This matchup, division game, give me Jalen Hurts to get it done. Game number 5 on the slate, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, last week, Cincy went out to Las Vegas and got it done. Big Ben attempted to put together a comeback W, but fell short. This week, these two teams face off against one another, and with all of the injuries on Pittsburgh's defense and the holes overall in their offense, I think that Cincinnati is the best bet to get it done. Game number 6 on the slate, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Indy Colts. Last week, Jonathan Taylor put together one of the most impressive games we've seen from a running back in the last 15 seasons. Also, Carson Wentz is doing just enough to keep that team in line and keep the W's flowing. Don't be surprised if it's an upset. However, if I'm being honest with myself, I have to take Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to come out on top. Game number 7 on the slate. And I got to say, shout out to Dollar Bill. Now, me personally, I was offended when they cut Cam Newton, and I didn't see New England looking like a competent football team. I thought, of course, because of their leader, that they would get some good W's. However, I didn't know that Mac Jones would continue to get better week after week after week. And here we are. This week, they face off against a Tennessee Titans team that just got upset by the Houston Texans and Tyrod Taylor. Based on that week alone, I have to take New England to get the upset over the Tennessee Titans. Game number 8 on the slate, we got the LA Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. Now, last week, the Chargers put up big-time numbers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, but almost let Big Ben creep back and sneak them for a W. Justin Herbert had 300-plus yards passing, 3 passing TDs, and also put up 90 yards rushing. Going against a Denver team coming off of a bye. The bye, we all know, gives you more time to get healthy and also game plan for your next opponent. However, these two teams meet, and I think it's going to mean more to the Chargers to get the W in the end. Game number 9 on the slate, we got the LA Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, last week, Aaron, the discount double check himself, got upset by Captain Kirk. On the other side of the matchup, the Rams were on their bye week. I think they come out. Odell shows what he can do. Sean McVay puts together a great game plan because he had additional time to prepare, and the Rams get the W over the Green Bay Packers. Game number 10 on the slate, we got the Minnesota Vikings versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this game is interesting because the San Francisco 49ers are favored. However, I think Captain Kirk has been peaking. That offense is opening up, and I think that the Minnesota Vikings will go on the road and get it done. Game number 11 on the slate, we got the Cleveland Brownies facing off against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, last week, Tyler Huntley had to lead Baltimore to a thrilling win over the Chicago Bears, and Lamar Jackson didn't play. But I think that additional time off will benefit them this week when they blow the Cleveland Browns out of the water. Game number 12 in the Monday night football game. We got the Seattle Seahawks facing off against the Washington Redskins. Now, I have been on the record, not necessarily on superstar selections, but on the record saying that Taylor Heinicke is a good quarterback and he's good enough to get you some NFL W's. And as we've seen over the last couple weeks, he's done just that. Now, with the way things are going in Seattle, I think Taylor Heinicke shows up and gets another W.